Hey guys, welcome back to Benos Esther Malka's channel. If you're new to the channel, well then today is the right time to like and subscribe because we are currently doing a series on how to teach children reading. Now, today's video is super exciting because while it is really meant for children who are about to read, I find today's video super helpful when you have an older child who's struggling to read. So, thumbs up for both ages. So, today's topic we are going to discuss is what is a CVC word? Now, just a few things to point out. Number one, when I used to work in a traditional school and the teacher would write CVC word lists, myself as a student teacher or as an assistant, I was like, what are these? And better yet, when I asked the head teacher, some of them knew and some of them didn't. So today you are going to learn. Now CVC, they're initials that stand for something, and C stands for consonant, in this case in H, so we have consonant. Then we have vowel, so the consonant is between the vowel, and of course you have the consonant at the end. So CVC stands for consonant, vowel, consonant. Obviously this is a nonsense word, but we'll get to that in a later video. So what is so important of having a pattern? Consonant, vowel, consonant as the first place to introduce your children to reading. Let me tell you. As you go along in the English language, you are going to find two things. The first thing is, as many rules as we teach our kids, that is how many rules don't make sense. I mean, look at the letter A. I say a ball rolled. But guess what? A says the A sound. So any rule you teach your child, there is 1, 10, or even 20 exceptions to the rule. And number two, as your child starts to learn to read, they are going to be met with so many changes to the rules. Like for example, S says S, H says H. Together they say sh. How confusing is that? So, when we're teaching CVC words as the first step to reading, we are telling the child every single rule that you already know in the English alphabet, that's not going to change. And the pride, the inner pride your child is going to feel is totally worth it. So, the first question is, how does one introduce a CVC word? Now, I like to do everything super simple. And I like to think of the child first. So when I think of the child's needs and I pair that with my own knowledge, kids are usually reading, give it about a week or two. So first step is look around about a week or two before you're ready to introduce the words and get to know your child's vocabulary and get to know the things that they like best. Bed, top, hop. Words that stick with the pure consonant, vowel, consonant pattern. There are no changes, there are no exceptions, and from there, let's use the word bed. So we have the B, we have the E, and we have the D. Bed. Sticks to the rules, right? So maybe on the first time I introduce it to the child, I may actually just play a little game and have the child just sound out be, because again, this is the first time. Then I may, let's say, do a little trick, take out the E and do B. Again, we're starting out with a consonant and a vowel, and vice versa. I may keep the ending and then have the child just sound out two letters, ed, id. And once the child can fluently go back and forth between the beginning sounds and the ending sounds, now here's the tricky part, is putting 3 together. Now for us fluent readers, it may sound simple, but think about it. The child, especially in English, the child has to understand how to sound it out, how to stress the consonants and the vowels. And now here's something that we don't necessarily think of. But once a child sounded it out, then the brain takes that sound, makes a connection, and puts either the object or the verb in our head. And that is a huge process, which, you know what, at a certain stage of life, we just take for granted. So, here are some tips. Obviously, we introduce the word together. Now, if the child is really, really good at phonics, just say, what word is this? And they may go, bed, and say, that was a great try. Can you try it faster? Bed. That's a bed. And then at that point, celebrate the small wins in life. Now, as you saw before, we kind of broke it up into, 2 consonant vowel. If your child is not ready to read it together but is eager to read, totally cool. Break it apart. Be, d, be, d, be, bed. 2 things to keep in mind when you use this technique. Number 1, let the child read. If they're only on the first day doing be, d, then you know what? Give them 5 words and stick with it. Be, d, big, hop. Let them stick with the broken word for now, even if they don't make a connection. Praise them. Say, that was a really good start. And on the second day, put it together and encourage them to go faster and more fluent. Pick a harder word, like let's say bathtub, because again, they're not up to that yet. Say, when I read the word bathtub, do I go bath-tub and model it slowly? Then say bath-tub, bath-tub, bathtub. Model yourself how we start off by breaking apart the word and then bringing it together. And I guarantee, what child doesn't want to be like their grown-up? When they see your thought process, they're going to incorporate it into theirs. Now, one last tip before I end this video is keep in mind, you may think a child's ready to read, and they may really, really want to read. And I really had that experience in my classroom, where I had a child who would pick up books and read the books over and over, say, I want to read, I want to read. And then when I'd introduce the phonics, I'd be like, in my mind, I'd be like, no way is this child ready to read. I don't care how excited they are. So, of course, I didn't want to hurt the child's feelings, because you know what? We love reading. So what I did was simple techniques. Again, I would maybe take the vowels and consonants they know, and either I'd break it up into 2 or even 3, and just play games with the child. Speaking of games, in the next video, we are going to have games catered just around CVC words to make learning fun. If you have any questions or would like to know more information on CVC words, phonics in general, as you could see, YouTube turned off my comments, but don't worry about that. In the link below, I am going to leave a link to my Instagram channel where you can ask me any questions you want, and I'll be sure to answer you. Plus, check out Instagram because I have tons of more content there. And if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because we have so much more content coming to make education fun. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Have a good day.